going on, everybody? Welcome back to Comic Hero Talk, the podcast / show where we talk about all things comic book movies, comic book movie news, actual comics, and anything going on in the world of superheroes when it comes to movies. I am your host, Jacob Bartley, and I am joined by someone you know, Gio Ramos.
How's it going, guys?
And one of our newest members of Apocalypse Movies. This is his debut, other than our channel trailer, Keith Barnes. What's going on, Keith?
Good. It is really hot outside.
It's very hot in Sacramento. I think we're hitting the hundreds.
Oh, it's
not quite yet.
101.
It's 101, yeah. Well, welcome, man. We're glad to have you on the show finally.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
It's awesome. So, yeah, like I said, we're first going to talk about some of the biggest movie news stories regarding comic book movies going on in the past couple weeks, and then I'm going to talk about some of the comics I've been reading, what I recommend, what I don't, and if we have time, we're going to hear a little rant from Gio, but we'll see how time persists. With that out of the way, let's jump into it, and our first topic is something very unfortunate that we have to talk about, and that is the passing of Adam West. The film and television community received some rough news to begin this week as Batman the movie and Batman star Adam West passed away at the age of 88. While West has many other accolades to his name, it was his turn as the Caped Crusader that made fans fall in love with him. He left a mark on the hero world, one that fans everywhere continue to go back to because of its lighthearted and fun tone that is so drastically different from what we see today. Our thoughts and prayers are with his friends and family. Gio, you heard this unfortunate news. What do you remember from watching Adam West as Batman?
Not much, to be honest. See, I'm a millennial, so I grew up with Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney Batmans. Adam West was a little bit before my time, but I can remember my uncle. He was a pretty big fan of the Adam West Batman. There was a TV show from 1966 to 68. A feature-length film, which probably a lot of you remember, that featured pretty much most of Batman's rogues gallery, and yeah, it's really unfortunate news. He, if anything, inspired and paved the way for other people who play Batman later on. You talk to Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, they have nothing but high respect for Adam West, and what he did for the character. Yes, it's campy, but he made it possible, at least to to have a Batman on screen. Like, people bought into it, even though it was campy. So you have to give respect where it's due, credit where it's due. Adam West, he will be missed by the comic book community, and it's a tough loss, but he did live a long life, 88 years old. So yeah, it's tough.
Keith, did you ever watch the old Adam West Batman show?
I did. I'm a little older than you guys, but the Batman 66 version, which I think it was like 3 or 4 seasons it only ran, but I mean, it endured for so long. It was obviously before my time. My parents were kids when they watched it.
I mean, it came out in the 60s.
Yeah, so, but I actually started getting into it around the same time that the 89 Burton Batman.
Yeah.
So before that, I didn't really watch
Probably
it.
had a resurgence back then because
that's what it
Batman was popular
was
again,
huge. It was huge at that time. And so, obviously, I watched the reruns. The movie that you referenced that had all the villains in it. So goofy. It's so goofy. But everyone loved it. I loved it. I knew it was so different from what we saw on screen
definitely.
with Burton. And that was one of the things that Burton had to fight against.
Yeah, that's true,
because the studio wanted to do that. And he had to
still
remind
the
world.
campiness a little bit.
And he did.
With the Joker, Jack Nicholson's Joker.
It was a little over top, and it was funny and silly, but he had to remind everyone that, Batman, he's darker. And it's a very serious tone character. But, one thing you mentioned is him being 8. I didn't realize he was 88.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I didn't know that. I had no idea because he was still doing so many things. He very much
Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy. Very much a post career like Mark Hamill.
And they just did a couple animated movies with him and the original guy who played Robin. They do the voiceovers for forget what those movies are called, but
Burt Ward.
They did those animated films. The fact that we watched the Batman show when we were kids, and you watched it too, it was way before your time as well, shows how popular this TV show is. I remember being a kid and watching that stuff on TV, and that was Batman back in the day. Like, everybody knows the pow, all that stuff. Like, that's Batman. And there's a reason why Batman became so popular. I honestly don't believe Batman would be where it is as a character and in pop culture, or be the most popular superhero in the world if it wasn't for Adam West's Batman. That's what started it. So, like, it's so important, and everyone knows who Adam West is if you're a superhero fan, you know. So that goes to show. And also, they have comic books right now called Batman 66. They have a comic book called Batman 66 meets Wonder Woman. When did the Wonder Woman show come out?
That was in about 75.
Yeah, so they have like a comic, Batman 66 meets Wonder Woman 77. Like, it's really cool. So he is relevant in comic book culture still. So that's really cool. You know, I was very young when I watched this show, so I don't remember specific details, but I do remember like the cheesiness, like the colorfulness, and like some of the lines that he says are just so funny. Like, I was watching some footage on YouTube, and he's like, "Sometimes you can't deactivate a bomb." Like, I don't know, it was fun, and it brought Batman to who he is.
And he knew it. He knew it was.
Oh yeah, for sure, and he played it so well. Yeah. All right, well, rest in peace, Adam West. Thank you for making Batman for who he is. And there's an argument to be made that we wouldn't be sitting here talking about comic book movies if he didn't start that way back then. So, all right, so moving on to something else that dropped earlier this past week. So we waited all last week for the first trailer to Marvel's Black Panther, and man, did it pay off. Marvel debuted the first official trailer to Black Panther last Saturday evening during the NBA Finals, showcasing the brand new world of Wakanda and everything that comes with it. Black Panther follows the events of Captain America Civil War, where T'Challa witnessed the death of his father. Now as he returns home, T'Challa takes the throne where his life as king and Black Panther are tested when a powerful old enemy reappears, putting his homeland of Wakanda and the entire world at risk. The film is directed by Ryan Coogler and stars an incredible cast led by Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, Danai Gurira, don't know how to pronounce that name, Martin Freeman, Winston Duke, Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker, and Andy Serkis, and is set to hit theaters next year on February 16th, 2017. All right, Keith, Gio and I reacted live to the trailer on video. What did you think of this first trailer for Black Panther?
This first trailer was awesome. Starts off with two hobbits.
That's right.
Yeah.
What? I didn't realize they're both in Lord of the Rings.
Got Gollum.
That's crazy.
And,
that's crazy.
And Bilbo in there, yeah. So that was cool. Wow. You know, as a kid, I didn't get that into Black Panther. I was well aware of him, but man, it's a great trailer.
Yeah.
Great tone. I love the music. You know, you can tell some of the effects were probably
the effects aren't done yet.
Yeah, but you know, they'll tighten that up. All their trailers that are effects heavy, all their movies are effects heavy. They look, their first trailers look like that, look that way. But it's great. I mean, February can't get here fast enough. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I did notice the first time I saw it that last shot with the car flipping. The car in the background looks really undone, but they're gonna finish it before the movie comes out. Just like every movie, like the Justice League trailer, I'm sure they're going to touch up Cyborg's
perfect.
CGI. I think it definitely does. And they need to touch up this car scene in Black Panther. But aside from that, like, I don't care about that in a trailer. I care about setting up the world and the storytelling and the character. And they did a wonderful job at this. I love the tone of this trailer. Like, I did not expect this to feel so badass. Like, I expected them to go like tribey, like, you know, African tribe-ish, but They had that element in there, but it was more of like an updated, modern tone, and I really, really dug it. I think Chadwick Boseman is great. I love that look he gives to one of his guards after Andy Serkis is talking. He's like, "Who the hell is this guy?" You know? And I'm like, "That's awesome." So I'm so excited for Black Panther before this trailer, and now my anticipation has elevated. I can't wait.
Yeah, my excitement for Black Panther started back when they first announced Civil War, and there was that concept art of Black Panther.
That's true. Yeah.
And then they bring in Chadwick Boseman, who we all love from like 42 and Get On Up. And
still need to see Get On Up. I heard he's great in that.
Yeah, great reviews. And then, you know, he made an impression in Civil War, and now he has his own solo movie. This very much feels like what Ryan Coogler or Michael B. Jordan did with the Rocky franchise as far as Creed goes. They gave it that cool, you said it in the reaction, like a swag kind of thing.
Yeah. Definitely feel it.
But there's definitely like a set, like a otherworldly setting of Wakanda, and I love, you know, the look of it. You know, I like that they took it to the jungle where, you know, the Black Panther, he can prey on his enemies and all that kind of stuff in the trees. The action's going to be great. I'm excited for this. It's just an all-around fantastic cast. It comes out in February, Black History Month. It's going to be a really important movie. majority black cast, and that's really important for the genre, for the industry. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this movie. I can't wait.
Yeah, and shout out to Ryan Coogler. He went to school at Sac State, which is awesome. He's from Oakland. He went to Sac State, and look at what he's doing now. That gives me hope. You know, we can follow our dreams. Yeah. All right, so the next chapter in Fox's long-running X-Men franchise was officially announced a few weeks ago, but didn't have any real pieces involved just yet. Today, that's definitely no longer the case. Thanks to Deadline, we now know the longtime writer Simon Kinberg will be making his directorial debut with the film, and we'll have a cast that includes the young heroes from X-Men Apocalypse and the unexpected return of Jennifer Lawrence, Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy, and Nicholas Hoult. But that's not all. As a Hollywood Reporter revealed, Fox and Kinberg are looking at Jessica Chastain for their villain role, possibly playing Lilandra, an alien empress who has a history with the X-Men and specifically the Dark Phoenix story. X-Men Dark Phoenix will hit theaters on November 2nd, 2018. I'll go ahead and take this one first. I'm a little hesitant on Kinberg directing such a huge movie his first time out the gate. But if he's going to direct anything like this, it should be an X-Men film because he's been around since X-Men The Last Stand, maybe even before that. So if anyone knows it more than Bryan Singer, it's this guy. He writes the films. He wrote X-Men Days of Future Past, which is arguably the best X-Men film, depending on who you ask. If it's going to be a first-time director, then he'd be my first choice. I would have rather have seen somebody more experienced come in. Maybe have Matthew Vaughn come back. That would have been awesome. But I'm hesitant about that. But I love that McAvoy and Fassbender and Hoult are coming back. Yeah. I don't necessarily love that Jennifer Lawrence is coming back. And I love Jennifer Lawrence. She's one of the best actors, period, working today. But I don't like her in the role of Mystique, especially after Apocalypse. She didn't care about that role. She doesn't care about it anymore. And if you get Jessica Chastain as the villain, she's one of the best actors working today as well. So I love most of this news, but not all of it. How about you, Keith?
First of all, Jessica Chastain, another Sacramento native.
That's true.
Went to Sac City.
Along with Brie Larson, who plays Captain Marvel. Absolutely. Look at Sacramento in the Marvel.
Comic book actress.
And now Apocalypse movies.
Yeah, there you go. See?
But yeah, as far as Kinberg, you know, he's been in the game a long time. You know.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a veteran in Hollywood for sure.
Yeah, he's been on a ton of sets, and that's the way you get experience in filmmaking. Just being
and I'm sure he's been around, like right behind Bryan Singer while he's directing, absolutely. So he's not completely inexperienced.
Absolutely, and you know, to me, the size of production doesn't matter. I think if you know how to tell a good story, which I think Kinberg does, and he's shown that he can, both in film and television. Then I think size doesn't matter as long as you make a good script and you know you got the actors that can pull it off.
No, definitely.
So I think it can work. I think it'll work, and he knows the material, he knows the characters. So to me, there's no one better that can take on this particular project.
No, that's a great point. Like as long as it's like Kevin Feige says, a great storyteller is a great storyteller. Absolutely. You know. So Gio, how do you feel about this news?
All right, Jennifer Lawrence needs to get the fuck out. Get out of here, Jennifer Lawrence. All right, I don't want to see you back here.
No disrespect.
Okay? No, disrespect. Okay, you gonna disrespect the X-Men franchise by just playing Jennifer Lawrence and not Mystique?
To be fair, that's hard. That's hard to put on all that makeup. She gets there at 4 a.m.
She gets paid. She gets paid probably $20 million. $20 million. Don't act like you don't make money.
You got to put on all that stuff and then act. You know,
okay. As far as Kinberg, look, I like Kinberg. I don't like how he ratted out Josh Trank and made Josh Trank lose Boba Fett, but that's a different story. Yeah. But you know who else had a lot of experience and was given a director job and
Transcendence director.
Wally Pfister. How'd you know?
Because it's the first name that popped to my head once you say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which wasn't the best. I'm not saying Kinberg is Wally Pfister. He probably has more experience. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
I would agree with you, just Kinberg's a writer also.
Kinberg is a writer, yes.
Pfister was a
cinematographer, right?
It's a lot different.
So Kinberg's a storyteller.
Behind camera, where Kinberg, I think he'd be better with stories.
That's a great point.
But I mean, you're right. That's definitely
no. It's
definitely right.
That's something to consider right there. Yeah, I like it. But yeah, I love having the young cast back. Ty Sheridan, Sophie Turner.
Yeah, they were the best part of the movie.
There was not enough of them. Yeah. And how dare you guys hype up Alexandra Storm, and she was in the movie for she had maybe 10 minutes of screen time, if that. Yeah. We need to address the elephant in the room, and that's Evan Peters.
I was just going to bring that up.
Not being, all right, look, I'm going to go against.
That's bizarre.
All right, you guys ain't going to like what I'm about to say. but he needs to get out of the movies. Okay. You can only do the slow motion montage with the music.
But that's not all the character is, though. That's not all the character is.
I'm not finished, okay? All right. So that's point A. Point B is that what X-Men Apocalypse failed at was they introduced the possibility of Evan Peters' Quicksilver, discovering his father Magneto, and they wasted that.
I know. I hate that.
They wasted that opportunity. And C, in my opinion, they made Quicksilver way too fast. I mean, it took Apocalypse, and he had to focus, like really focus, to get down Quicksilver. Other than that, Quicksilver could easily take out everyone in there. So what more is there for the X-Men to do? You can make the argument Phoenix is going to be a badass. The Dark Phoenix, they're going to need Quicksilver. But in my opinion, look, they should have took Quicksilver. They should have took Mystique out and just focus on this young group of X-Men. Nothing against Evan Peters. I love him in Days of Future Past. But they wasted his momentum going into X-Men Apocalypse, in my opinion.
I actually completely disagree with you. I think he should be in these movies. I think he should be one of the main characters because they did miss the opportunity of having Magneto and him interact as father and son. But I think there's room for redemption in that. I don't think they're completely excluding him from this universe. I think they're either... We're going to hear later on, oh, he actually is in the movie.
Right.
Or they're planning on using him elsewhere in Deadpool 2 or X-Force. I can imagine dialogue or banter between him and Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
That would be so great. And your point about him being too fast, that's like saying the Justice League doesn't need the Flash. Or the Flash is too powerful to be in the Justice League, you know? It's like...
But Justice League, they're going against like parademons and all this other
Apocalypse
stuff.
is more powerful than a parademon.
About as powerful.
But it took Apocalypse almost all of his strength to finally capture Quicksilver, and so.
No, I think Evan Peters is one of the best parts of the last two movies. I think you should have kept him around, if you ask me.
Okay, well, subjective.
Well, that's what the argument is for. That's awesome. Yeah. All right, so Marvel Studios has always had a very specific style and tone, colors, great big action, and stories that fit both adults and kids. But with the emergence of Deadpool and Logan, many have been wondering if the studio would not only succeed at an R-rated film, but if they would even attempt one. Thanks to all-around genius Kevin Feige, we now have at least a piece to that answer. While speaking with the Allison, I don't know what that is, Feige had this to say. I don't think it's out of the question. When I started at Marvel 17 years ago, the Blade franchise was doing very well. A lot of people didn't even know that it was based on a Marvel character because at the time they sort of hid the fact that it was Marvel. So not out of the question, but not something that we're working on right now. So Gio, do you want to see a R-rated Marvel film in the MCU?
I would love to see an R-rated Marvel movie in the MCU. I would love to see, I forget what the storyline is called, where Iron Man kind of goes into this like alcohol abusive, like, dark demon in the bottle. Yeah. I would love to see that.
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. I would love to see a Black Widow R-rated movie where she's actually being the assassin, a hit girl, whatever the hell she's called, that she is supposed to be. I would love to see a film set in Budapest with Hawkeye and Black Widow R-rated. But it's not going to happen. And I'm confident to say it's never going to happen because Disney's not going to allow it. And again, like whether you agree or disagree, that's just the way the studio is. They've never been about that life, so they're not going to do that. Where Marvel can succeed is in a Netflix. Put Blade, Ghost Rider, take Ghost Rider out of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., put him in the Netflix. Those characters can work, and whether or not you want that universe to cross in every now and then is a different discussion with the MCU. But as long as Disney is running the show, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. I don't see it. Like, I would buy a Blu-ray of Iron Man 3 and like take a photo with it, and in the caption write, "This movie is the best movie of all time, and Zack Snyder will never make a movie as close to Iron Man 3 if Marvel made an R-rated movie," but they're not, so I won't have to worry about it.
Well, I think the question here is not whether Marvel will do an R-rated film, whether Disney will do one. You brought that up. If they were their own studio and they had no connection to Disney, I think they would do one.
Absolutely, yes.
But I don't think it's ever going to happen. The question whether I want one or not is different. Yes. I think yes. I think you could do like I don't know what they would call themselves, because they already have the Defenders on Netflix, but you could do like a group movie with like the Punisher, Daredevil, and Ghost Rider. And I mean, I wish Deadpool could be in there too. That would be awesome. But I think they have the material to create one. I just don't think they ever will, because their connection to Disney.
Can I add something real quick before you go, Keith? If you guys remember, Phase 1, the first couple of movies, they were distributed by
Paramount.
If you take a look at those, if you rewatch those movies again, they are a little bit darker than from Avengers.
I think the Hulk was by Universal. They were working with different. They were working with different companies to put out those movies.
Yeah.
And you're right. If you think about Iron Man 1, there's some really dark moments in there. Yeah.
Being captured by terrorists. And being pretty much tortured and
and Obadiah takes his thing out of his.
Oh yeah, that was some dark stuff. Yeah. But the way they've gone since then is.
Yeah, there's
it's more
way.
family friendly.
Not so much. Yeah. Not so much.
There's no way.
The characters they have now, no. I think Marvel Comics, most R-rated characters all belong to Fox, it seems like, with
the X-Men,
Wolverine, Deadpool,
all those guys. Cable, which gets pretty dark sometimes. The Punisher, and they have Punisher, and that's the one guy.
But I think it fits so much better on Netflix, though.
I was going to say that.
Like,
I think
the storytelling fits it better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, well, sticking with the MCU and Marvel and Sony, if you will, we still have 3 weeks to see whether or not the collaboration between Marvel and Sony will work for the character of Spider-Man, and even though he crushed it in last year's Captain America Civil War, we haven't been too sure what the future holds for the web-slinger after the Homecoming sequel until now. Tom Holland and the cast of Homecoming are currently out promoting the film, and while speaking with Allocina, Holland let it slip that there is a trilogy planned for his Peter Parker. Yes, there is what we call the story arc of the character. There's still a lot of room for Peter Parker and Spider-Man, especially to grow in the next 2 movies. He's definitely not the finished article by the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, and I really look forward to exploring the different ways he can grow up and go through puberty, I guess. It's going to be an exciting couple of movies. When asked to clarify what a couple of movies he meant, he let it all hang out. There will be a Spider-Man 2 and 3. Yeah, well, sorry Marvel, whoops. Spider-Man Homecoming swings into theaters on July 7th. Keith, a Spider-Man trilogy makes sense. Do you think Marvel will still be involved with the third film? Because we know they're signed on to do the second film.
I can't imagine that they wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's smart business. Spider-Man is, I know that's Sony's top item that they have, other than the PlayStation.
Well, if you really break it down, Spider-Man's the most popular Marvel character.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
Everyone knows who he is worldwide. Of Marvel, he definitely is.
So, and Marvel, and listen, Sony, they do a good job making one good Spider-Man movie. Okay, and then the next one's after
that, Spider-Man 1 and 2, the originals. You don't like Spider-Man 2?
I don't love Spider-Man 2.
Oh my goodness!
Wow,
we're gonna have to have this debate another time. But Spider-Man 2 is my favorite Spider-Man movie.
It's the best of that trilogy. But
Doc Ock, dude,
I loved him. I loved him.
Legit. All right, that's a different perspective. That's interesting.
The Amazing Spider-Man, I think, is the best that they've done out of all of them.
Oh, I
like the Amazing
Spider-Man. I love the Amazing Spider-Man.
Love it.
The first one's great. Yeah. I think it might be the second best in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I would go Spider-Man 2, then Amazing Spider-Man, then Spider-Man 1.
Yeah. See, they can make one good Spider-Man,
and then they try to go big with sequels.
Then they lose it. Then they go nuts. And then so, I think letting a creative producer like Kevin Feige, who has produced many films. And knows the comics, knows the characters, knows the material, letting him take the reins and be in charge of the production of Spider-Man in whatever direction they want to go. If they're smart, that's what they would do. And there's no reason to keep it going, especially if these movies are hugely successful, which, I mean, they should be.
Yeah, I definitely think that they're going to work out some type of deal because it's going to... having Iron Man in a Spider-Man movie is just going to elevate it so much. Yeah. Like, Spider-Man on his own makes $700 million at the box office worldwide. Mm-hmm. This movie's going to make $1 billion. I guarantee it. Yes, it is, dude. Overseas and domestic. Do you know how many people have been waiting to see just that shot of Iron Man and Spider-Man flying together in the city? Yeah. That alone, $1 billion.
I will buy a Blu-ray of Iron Man 3. Take a photo of it. On the caption, I'll put Zack Snyder will never make a movie as great as this one.
Live bet. Gio, I will bet you a movie ticket right now that Spider-Man Homecoming makes $1 billion worldwide.
Okay.
A movie ticket. You got it here first.
Yep.
Movie ticket.
Witness.
But yeah, they're definitely going to work out another deal. There's no way. There's too much to gain with this deal. Having Spider-Man, he can become like I think him and Captain Marvel and Black Panther are going to become the new leaders of the Avengers, like when you get to like Avengers 4, 5, and 6 eventually. So there's so much more story to tell with that Peter Parker, and he's so young. Yeah. They'll definitely work something out.
The only people who can fuck up this deal is Sony.
Yeah. That's true.
Sony. And look what they're doing already with the Venom universe, their Spider universe. Granted, I am very excited about Tom Hardy.
I'm excited for that Tom Hardy Venom movie, but outside, I don't know about Silver and Black.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Yeah. But I love Tom Holland's attitude. He's like, "Sorry, Marvel. Like, I know I'm your future because Robert Downey.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
What are they gonna do? Yeah. So
he's Spider-Man.
I love that, and having seen Spider-Man: Homecoming already, based off all the trailers and clips and all the TV spots and everything, fantastic movie. I knew it was going to do great. It won't make $1 billion. I think
going to make $1 billion.
Okay, just real quick. Okay, I think audiences are just again another new Spider-Man. It's been 10 years since Spider-Man 3, Sam Raimi, and since that we've had 2 other Spider-Man.
But not with Tony Stark in the movie.
Iron Man wasn't.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, Tony Stark 10 years ago and Tony Stark today. Tony Stark 10 years ago is more popular than.
No, I disagree. Look at what Civil War did. Are you serious?
Civil War was more Black Panther and Spider-Man.
He was the second lead.
It's Captain America versus Iron Man.
And Tony Stark was great in that movie.
Team Cap, Team Iron Man. That's what it was.
So I don't know.
Gio just hates Marvel. That's what we've concluded
Marvel,
here.
Okay?
Well, let's talk about some DC topics then.
Yeah,
shall
let's
we?
do it, yeah.
All right, so Armie Hammer's name has been in every fanboy's mouth for what seems like the last few years now. Whether it's Shazam or Green Lantern or Nightwing, fans everywhere see him donning some kind of suit for the DCEU. Now, while we all see him fitting into one of those roles, the real question is whether or not he's been approached for it. Dwayne Johnson wants to play opposite his Shazam and Black Adam, and fans Photoshop him in as Hal Jordan left and right. But according to Hammer, no conversations have been made. He talked about his agent. He contacted his agent. His agent was like, "No, I haven't heard anything." And Armie Hammer basically said, "Yeah, I'm keeping my options open." So, Gio, what do you think about all this?
Armie Hammer is full of shit, man. I will guarantee you, Armie Hammer appears in Justice League, a cameo as Hal Jordan. I might have read something, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Armie Hammer is Green Lantern. He's Hal Jordan. Henry Cavill has been playing it up as well with the hashtags, Armie Hammer or Green Lantern and stuff like that. Trust me, it's going to happen. Like, I think, you think about it, it's perfect casting. It's perfect casting, Hal Jordan. Who do we get? Bradley Cooper? Maybe not. He's a little older, and, you know, he's not into that whole comic book movie. He'll voice the Raccoon, but that's about it. But Armie Hammer, he's 28 years old, I believe he is. He's young. He could play Hal Jordan for 1 or 2 Green Lantern movies, and like it makes all the sense. And I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. Justice League. You heard it here first. No, maybe 3rd or 4th, but you heard it.
Keith, do you think Armie Hammer is lying his butt off?
Oh,
think about Chadwick Boseman and how he kind of I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. I think.
Think about Brie Larson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she's like,
a long
really?
time it was. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Nah.
We thought it was going to be Emily Blunt for a long time.
Yeah, everybody wanted her.
So, you know, Joaquin Phoenix was going to be Doctor Strange for a long time.
It happens.
All of a sudden, he ended coming back. So who knows? But seems like that's the direction they're going in. And they're supposed to have 3 lanterns, right? We're going to have Jon Stewart and...
at least Jon Stewart.
At least
I think...
him.
Well, they're making a Green Lantern Corps movie, so I think you're going to get the 2 humans, and then there's going to be aliens are going to be the rest of the Green Lantern Corps. I think it'll be like their Guardians of the Galaxy in a way.
Yeah, which would be very cool to see.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to that. I'm curious to see who they cast as.
So of those 3 roles, like if you were to say Shazam, Green Lantern, or Nightwing, which one do you think he's most likely to play?
Of those, Green Lantern.
Yeah, I think so too.
Lantern.
Either he's telling the truth, or the only reason he has to like completely misdirect fans is because he already is Green Lantern and he has a cameo in Justice League. I think that's very, very possible. It's either one of the 2 options, because if he's signed on for a movie that comes out in 2 years, maybe he can be a little more like, oh, I don't know, maybe I am, but he has to keep that surprise hidden. Like, imagine Green Lantern like showing up at the end of Justice League, like, damn, you guys saved Earth, but we got a bigger problem coming, and like it just leads to an all-out galactic war or something like that. So I think that's very possible. But I would prefer him to be Green Lantern. I think that's the most likely the scenario if he does get cast in a DCEU film. All right, moving on to another DCEU topic. So since the release of Wonder Woman 2 weeks ago, Patty Jenkins has been all over the news outlets. As soon as the film was in theaters, it was revealed that Jenkins was already signed on for the sequel and that the plan was to take it after the events of Justice League. Well, according to many recent reports, that actually isn't the case. Not only is the Hollywood Reporter with backbone that Jenkins' deal with Warner Bros. Was only to direct one film, while speaking with Uproxx, Jenkins was asked, in the next solo movie, would you want it to be set in modern day or somewhere in the 100 years prior? Like, could it be set in the 1930s? And this was her answer. It is for sure. I'm definitely planning on something more interesting using that period of time. Definitely, it's the plan. I can't say what it is, but it's definitely right in the pocket of what you're talking about. So, Gio, what does this mean for a Wonder Woman sequel and when it's going to take place?
It means Patty Jenkins is coming back, which is Warner Brothers' smartest move since bringing in Zack Snyder from Man of Steel. It also means that, Wonder Woman 2... I think me and you might have talked about this a little bit before, but if you keep it in the past, you got to keep moving forward. You can't. We want to see more of what happened with Diana Prince after that, okay? Because surely in Batman v Superman, if you watch that movie, that shield and sword that she has, where did that come from? Yeah. I want to know. I want to know how World War II was with her. You think about nuclear testing, atom bombs, and all that stuff. How does she combat something like that? That's very interesting. The Cold War, the nuclear, all that kind of stuff. I want to hear more about that. I want to see Wonder Woman in that setting. And Patty Jenkins, she's just perfect. I mean, she is perfect for directing and all this stuff. Bring her back. Get her to consult on more movies for the DCEU. This is great.
Yeah, I definitely think Patty Jenkins is coming back. There's no way DC and Warner Bros. Let her walk. I'm not sure where I think it's going to take place. I don't think they've decided yet, honestly. Because in Batman v Superman, she says, 100 years ago, I walked away from man. Batman v Superman came out in 2016. It takes place in real time. So World War I ended around 100 years ago from that point. So I think she went away after the events of Wonder Woman. I don't know where. I don't know where the hell she would have gone. Does she find her way back at Themyscira? Who knows? Does she go... I have a theory that I think Zeus might still be alive somehow, and that we get like a Guardians of the Galaxy 2 storyline where she goes and confronts her father. Yeah. I think that would be very interesting. I happen to think, and I think I want it to take place after Justice League. I think there could be a mission to where she has to go somewhere after that, or maybe the journey is to find Themyscira again, or maybe you introduce Cheetah out, Charlize Theron as Cheetah. How awesome would that be?
That'd be pretty cool.
Reuniting with Patty Jenkins from Monster. Yeah. I think that would be great. But yeah, if I had to put some money on it, I would say modern day. How about you, Keith?
I would too. I wouldn't mind it being set in the 70s. This is a little nod to the old TV show. Because that's the first thing I thought when we talked about a sequel.
That would be awesome, actually. I would be down with that.
And if you see it, look, in Batman v Superman, she's very wealthy. She has a lot of money.
Oh, she's good.
Where did she get all this money? What has she been doing to get all this money? Where she's got this awesome car, a better car than Bruce Wayne had.
She has a business where she you can buy tickets to go to Themyscira, and
maybe
she'll be a personal tour.
Yeah, that's possible.
I think I think the government set her up, or she can find a way to make some money. Man. She can just model.
Yeah, she could. She lives in Paris apparently, so. But you make a good point about the sword. And in Batman v Superman, she was looking for a sword. That's when she was at that gala with Bruce Wayne.
Sword of Alexander.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She said the real one. This one's a fake. The real one's over the bed of Sultan of whatever he said. Yeah. So how'd she go get that? Good man must have gone there to get it. So that'd be an interesting thing to see. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll see where that takes place. Well, that's going to do it for the movie news segment of this. And really quickly, I'm going to go over my segment, This Week in Comics, where I talk about the comics that I've read. It's technically the past 2 weeks because we do the show bi-weekly. And I've actually only read one comic that came out this week. But last week, I read Darth Vader #1, Harley Quinn #21, and Avengers #8. Really quick, Darth Vader #1. If you're a Star Wars fan, go and pick this up because it takes place right after Revenge of the Sith. Like, literally... The first page is like a scene from Revenge of the Sith, so I love it as a fan. You get to see what was going on in Anakin's head right after those events, how he's dealing with Padme's death, and how he gets his red lightsaber, or at least it starts the journey to him getting his red lightsaber, and it kind of explains how the lightsabers are red. Now, that was explained in the Ahsoka Tano novel, but it's also explained in here, so if you're interested in that, definitely pick up Darth Vader number 1. Harley Quinn is getting very, very interesting. Like, I love the Harley Quinn comics. I read them a lot. Harley Quinn number 21 introduced a new plot point that is very, very interesting. So if you like Harley Quinn, go pick some of the Rebirth trades up. You can go pick them up and start from number 1 and read the trades and catch up to number 21. Some very interesting storytelling. And then Avengers number 8 is... I actually really... The art in this comic is beautiful. You should definitely check that out if you like Avengers. And you can even start from issue number 7 because issues 1 through 6 told one story, and issue 7 picks up and it's starting a new story arc where you have Doctor Doom kind of joining the Avengers. He has his own Iron Man suit, and they're kind of making him an anti-hero, which is kind of... They keep doing that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool seeing him interact with like Spider-Man and the Wasp and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then as far as this week goes, I read Secret Empire number 4. Secret Empire is amazing. I love what they're doing with this. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but basically Captain America is evil, but there's some more stuff going on, and he's like taking over the United States, and he claimed it as Hydra. So if you like Captain America, or if you just like Marvel Comics in general, read Secret Empire. It's really awesome. Do you guys have any thoughts on these? I know you haven't read them, but like any interest in any of the stuff?
I mean, the Darth Vader sounds really interesting. Revenge of the Sith is, hands
it's your
down,
favorite Star Wars movie, right?
It's my favorite Star Wars movie. It's the best prequel movie by far. But I mean, I'm really interested to see what Darth Vader does right after that, because he doesn't end in a good place.
Oh, no way.
He's in a bad place.
I'll definitely let you borrow it after Jake's done with it.
Does it start right after he's going, no?
I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but they do touch on that. Okay. They do touch on that. And it honestly makes the moment better. It's not as bad the way they touch on it. And I love that in this new canon, they're not afraid to go prequel era. Yeah. That's the thing for me. Like, all right, the movies aren't good, but there's so much to love. Like the mythology and all the storytelling in those prequels, there's so much to love, and they're picking all the best parts of the mythology to put in this new canon, which I love.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of great stories to tell in this prequel stuff.
All right, well, that's going to do it for This Week in Comics, and now we're going to turn to Gio for his rant of the week. Gio, what do you got for us this week?
All right, so Warner Brothers, 2 weeks ago, I gave you props for Wonder Woman and staying out of the way and letting Patty Jenkins direct and all that good stuff, and now Wonder Woman has made 460... Is that Tupac? Okay. Wonder Woman has made $460 million at the box office so far. Congrats. Bravo. Geoff Johns came out a few days ago and mentioned something that kind of, rubbed me the wrong way. He said in an interview...
That's right.
DC... The future of DC is that we want to make it fun. We want our characters to be characters and to have that hope, optimism, heroics, and he said some other things too. And okay, look, you want to be fun. That's great. Okay, it's okay to be fun. Fun's not a bad word, but don't go and 180 the whole tone of the DCEU and try to make it even more, of what Snyder and company have built, okay? The tone is not the problem with the DCEU, okay? People love the tone. Man of Steel, it gained new followers as far as Superman goes. People weren't interested in Superman because he was too perfect.
It changed my mind on Superman.
It changed his mind
Superman
on Superman.
Wasn't one of my favorite superheroes. I wouldn't even put him in my top 10. After Man of Steel, he makes... top 10 for sure.
He made it interesting because he made Superman flawed. He introduced new ideas, put Superman in different situations. This is not a Man of Steel review. But anyways, you want to make the movies fun? Sure, why not? Okay, The Dark Knight is fun at times. You can have fun watching The Joker.
Well, yeah, you could say moments with the Joker are fun.
Yeah,
in that movie.
It's fun. Yeah. That's fine, but
like the banter between Alfred and Bruce.
Yeah,
that's fun.
But don't go trying to do what you did with Suicide Squad by trying to take the movie and just make it what that trailer, that Bohemian Rhapsody trailer, played it off to be, because that didn't work. Learn from your mistakes and just don't betray the tone that is set. There's nothing wrong with it. I love it. It differs from Marvel. What Marvel's doing is damn near perfect with their family-friendly movies. DC, they can be a little more grounded. They can be a little more realistic, and everything is working good so far. And just a heads up, I know you're going to say Batman v Superman, but I'm going to put a link in the comments or somewhere, because Batman v Superman was always supposed to be dark. It was always supposed to be the Empire Strikes Back of this trilogy that Snyder's doing. Justice League, you got Josh Whedon on there. It's certainly going to have more levity to it. It's going to be more lighter. And Superman, you're going to get that true justice in the American way. It's going to be great. But Warner Brothers, don't think just because you have a hit with Wonder Woman, you're going to make every movie like Wonder Woman, because it's not going to work. Wonder Woman worked because Patty Jenkins understood the character. She was very passionate about it, and you let her make her movie. So that's all I got to add. You guys don't want to say
Very
anything
well
else?
said. I will say that's very well said.
You don't see Wonder Woman, Diana twirling around to become Wonder Woman.
Oh my god.
Keith, what are your thoughts on this?
Geoff Johns, fun. The DCEU going forward.
Listen, I don't mind.
Is tone a problem?
I don't think tone necessarily is a problem.
Yeah.
They haven't really had great, tight scripts with not necessarily, and then some post-production stuff, which, as an editor, BVS drove me nuts.
Have you seen
montage of scenes?
Have you seen the Ultimate Edition?
I haven't.
You have?
It's better.
It's better than
It is
the
better.
theatrical.
It's better.
Okay.
It's better, but it's
Okay.
How did Suicide Squad
went from
affect
4
you as an
to 6.
editor?
Oh my god, I can only imagine Suicide Squad.
It made my head hurt.
Wait, do you like Man of Steel?
I love Man of Steel.
Oh yeah, so we're all on the same page.
I love Man of Steel.
I love Man of Steel.
Yeah.
So it's one of my top 10 favorite comic book movies ever.
I've been arguing with people for 4 years already.
It frustrates me because I would say about 60% of the critics don't like it, And like when somebody brings it up on YouTube, I'm like, I'm gonna argue with you. I think it depends on the character. Like if you're a Batman movie isn't going to have a fun tone. Like that's just it shouldn't.
Yeah.
But a Flash movie, absolutely.
Very much.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So do you agree that it depends on what character it is?
Yes, like with Batman, you can have fun in there. He's a billionaire playboy. Okay,
Yeah.
you can have fun in there, but don't.
But
go
the
and
main
try and
tone
make it-
isn't going to be fun.
Yeah.
But the main tone of a Flash movie can be fun.
Absolutely.
So
yes.
it really, really depends on the character. I think Green Lantern Corps could be fun.
And that's a movie that you can't do grounded, obviously, or realistic.
So
but you
that
make
can
it
be fun. I mean,
it's going to be a buddy cop in space, like they said. Like
Wonder Woman. What I wouldn't even say Wonder Woman. Like the overall tone, if you would describe it with one word, I wouldn't say fun.
It's certainly more fun than other DC
I would
movies.
say
It's a lot of lighthearted.
Yeah, it's lighthearted optimism,
a
lot of optimism where like maybe Man of Steel and BVS didn't have any optimism at all, which is not a problem, It's like I really love Man of Steel. I like Batman v Superman, but I just think it depends. Like don't make every single movie, every single character lighthearted and fun. Yeah. Switch it up and just like the MCU, like I don't think Black Panther is going to be quote unquote fun the entire way through. There's going to be moments.
No, he's not going to be telling jokes and
it's not like it's not an Iron Man or like Iron Man, Spider-Man. Those are fun tones. Black Panther, even a Captain
Infinity
War.
All
right, look at Winter Soldier and Civil War. Those movies aren't cracking jokes every 5 seconds like Age of Ultron. Yeah. Those movies are dark.
Those movies are action-packed, well-paced.
And the humor in those movies is very subtle. Like the Bucky moment when they're in the car and he kisses Sharon Carter. Yeah. So DC, depending on the character, you go case by case with this thing. I think
technical difficulties.
Yeah, technical difficulties. Who cares? That's gonna wrap up the show either way. I want to thank Keith for joining us for his very first video. Let them know where they can find you online, and
find me on the Twitter at KeithBarnes79.
And I want to thank Gio Ramos. Thank you for that heartful, thoughtful rant of yours.
Thank you. I try to be as unbiased as I could be, but you guys can find me on Twitter at Gio Ramos. No, I changed it. It's at GeoDude90. So check it out. Check out apocalypsemovies.com. We just put up our channel trailer, which
we did. We put our channel trailer up, and also check out my All Eyes on Me review if you get a chance. That'll be up pretty soon on the channel. You can find me on Twitter at @JacobBartley_ and on this YouTube channel. Please subscribe, hit that like button. Hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what you thought of all the stuff that we talked about today on Comic Hero Talk, the movie news, the comics, Geo's rant.
I want to hear you. Come on.
And check out his show, Me, You, and the DCEU.
Yeah,
we're going to plug that.
It's pretty awesome.
Check out Me, You, and the DCEU. That's the name of it. You can find it on YouTube. It's for all the DC lovers and defenders.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've been watching a few episodes. And check out Comic Hero Talk, the YouTube channel, where I review individual comics as well. Thank you all for listening. As always, until next time, take care.